You can read people's thoughts through gestures and body language. Have you ever wished you could delve into someone's mind, understanding their unspoken thoughts and feelings? While mind reading remains the stuff of fiction, mastering the art of interpreting nonverbal cues can bring us remarkably close. This journey into the realm of body language and gestures is not just about observing others, but also about cultivating a mindful presence within ourselves. Nonverbal communication has been deeply studied in various philosophical traditions, including Zen and Buddhist teachings, where awareness and observation are fundamental. A subtle shift in posture, an unconscious frown, or the way someone averts their gaze can reveal more than spoken words. When we develop the ability to perceive these signals, we refine our understanding of human behavior and enhance our relationships. Part 1. The Power of the Eyes. The saying goes, "The eyes are the windows to the soul." Indeed, our eyes can reveal a plethora of emotions and intentions. For instance, sustained eye contact often indicates confidence and interest, while frequent glances away might suggest discomfort or deceit. I recall a personal experience during a job interview where the interviewer's consistent eye contact made me feel acknowledged and valued, reinforcing the importance of this nonverbal cue. In the teachings of Zen and Buddhism, the eyes hold a profound significance, not merely as a tool for perceiving the external world, but as a gateway to inner awareness. The practice of mindfulness encourages us to observe without judgment, and our ability to read and interpret eye contact plays a crucial role in cultivating deeper human connections. When we look into another person's eyes with full awareness, we do not just see them, we truly perceive them, beyond words and surface expressions. The language of the eyes in human interaction. Throughout history, eye contact has played a fundamental role in communication. In many cultures, prolonged eye contact signifies trust, sincerity, and mutual understanding. In contrast, averting one's gaze might be associated with shyness, guilt, or submission. However, context matters. In some Eastern traditions, particularly in Japan and other parts of Asia, avoiding direct eye contact can be a sign of respect rather than dishonesty or insecurity. Understanding the language of the eyes requires a delicate balance between intuition and mindfulness. A gaze that lingers too long may feel intrusive or intimidating, while too little eye contact may create distance and a sense of disconnection. Buddhist teachings remind us to approach all interactions with equanimity, a calm and balanced mind, so that we do not misinterpret or project our own emotions onto others. Eye contact and the practice of presence. Zen philosophy teaches that true presence is not just about physical stillness, but about deep attentiveness. When we engage with others, are we truly present, or is our mind wandering elsewhere? Eye contact, when done with mindful awareness, can become a powerful tool for anchoring ourselves in the moment. Monastic practices in Buddhist traditions often emphasize the power of the gaze. In some meditation retreats, practitioners are encouraged to engage in silent eye-gazing meditation, where two individuals sit facing each other and maintain soft, relaxed eye contact. This practice cultivates a profound sense of connection, dissolving the illusion of separateness. It teaches us that through the eyes, we can communicate compassion, understanding, and deep presence without the need for words. The eyes as a reflection of inner consciousness. From a Buddhist perspective, the state of our mind is often reflected in our eyes. A restless mind results in a scattered, unfocused gaze. A mind burdened by anger or resentment may produce a piercing, harsh look. Conversely, a person who has cultivated inner peace and wisdom emanates a calm, steady gaze, one that soothes rather than intimidates. There are stories of enlightened masters whose mere gaze could awaken insight in their disciples. It is said that the Buddha's eyes radiated boundless compassion and wisdom, touching the hearts of those who met his gaze. This reflects an important truth. Our eyes do not merely reflect our emotions, but also our level of spiritual awareness. To cultivate a gaze that is clear, compassionate, and mindful, we must practice inner stillness, meditation, Conscious breathing and detachment from negative emotions allow our eyes to mirror serenity rather than turmoil. In everyday life, we can observe how our emotions shift by simply looking at our reflection. Are our eyes restless, filled with tension, or do they hold the gentle glow of awareness and understanding? Mindful eye contact in daily life. In modern society, where digital screens dominate much of our attention, genuine eye contact has become a rarity. Many people struggle to maintain presence in conversations, distracted by their phones or wandering thoughts. However, mindful engagement through the eyes can transform even the most ordinary interactions. 1. In relationships, whether with friends, family, or romantic partners, maintaining steady, relaxed eye contact fosters deeper intimacy and trust. Looking into the eyes of a loved one with full presence can turn a simple moment into a meaningful exchange. 2. In professional settings, eye contact during conversations, negotiations, or public speaking conveys confidence and credibility. However, balance is key. Too much intensity can be overwhelming, while too little can create uncertainty. 3. In meditation and self-reflection, gazing softly at a single point, such as a candle flame or one's own reflection in a mirror, can be a powerful mindfulness practice. It trains the mind to focus, quieting inner chatter and deepening self-awareness. The gaze of compassion. One of the most profound applications of mindful eye contact is in the practice of compassionate presence. When we look at others, not just with our eyes, but with our heart, we recognize their struggles, joys, and humanity. Thich Nhat Hanh, the renowned Vietnamese Zen master, often spoke about deep looking, the practice of seeing beyond a person's external expressions to understand their suffering. A simple, gentle gaze of compassion can provide reassurance to someone in distress. In Buddhist psychology, to truly see someone is to acknowledge their existence and interconnectedness with us. Imagine encountering a stranger who seems lost in thought, burdened by worries. A fleeting moment of eye contact, filled with kindness and non-judgment, can be a silent yet powerful act of support. This is the essence of loving kindness, metta practice, using every interaction as an opportunity to radiate warmth and presence. The spiritual dimension of the eyes. Many spiritual traditions view the eyes as a reflection of the soul's evolution. In Hindu and Buddhist traditions, the third eye represents higher consciousness and inner vision, while physical sight allows us to navigate the external world. Inner sight, born from wisdom and introspection, reveals deeper truths. When we train our eyes to see beyond mere appearances, we cultivate insight vipassana, the ability to perceive reality as it is, free from illusion. This type of vision transcends ordinary perception, allowing us to understand the impermanence of all things and embrace life with greater clarity. Part 2. Facial expressions, the silent language of the soul. Our faces are canvases of emotion. A genuine smile, characterized by the crinkling of the eyes, can convey warmth and openness, fostering trust in interpersonal interactions. Conversely, a furrowed brow might indicate confusion or concern. In my interactions, I've found that mirroring the facial expressions of others can create a sense of empathy and rapport, enhancing communication. But beyond the surface, what deeper truths do our facial expressions reveal? In Buddhist philosophy, the face is more than just a medium for emotional expression. It is a reflection of our inner state, our level of mindfulness, and the karma we cultivate through our thoughts and actions. Every subtle shift in expression, every micro-movement, carries a profound message about our emotional and mental condition. The power of the smile in Buddhist practice. A smile, when rooted in genuine compassion, is a transformative force. Thich Nhat Hanh often spoke of the smile of mindfulness, a soft, gentle expression that arises naturally when we are at peace with ourselves in the present moment. Unlike a forced or superficial smile, a true smile, one that reaches the eyes, reflects inner harmony and a heart free from affliction. Buddhist monks and practitioners are often encouraged to smile during meditation, not as an act of pretension, but as a way to cultivate loving kindness, metta. This simple act signals to the mind that there is no need to rush, no need to grasp, only the stillness and joy of the present moment. It is said that the Buddha's serene smile in statues and paintings represents this unshakable peace, the embodiment of one who has transcended suffering. When we offer a sincere smile to another person, we are not merely moving our facial muscles, we are extending a silent message of goodwill. It is an acknowledgement of shared humanity, an invitation to mutual understanding. In moments of conflict, a mindful smile can act as a bridge, softening hostility and fostering reconciliation. Tension and facial expressions, the mirror of the mind. Just as a smile can radiate inner peace, facial tension often reveals mental unease. A clenched jaw, a furrowed brow, or tightened lips may be signs of suppressed emotions, unresolved anger, or deep-seated anxiety. In Zen practice, awareness of bodily tension is a critical step towards self-understanding. Consider this: when you are engaged in a heated discussion or experiencing stress, have you ever noticed how your face tightens unconsciously? The tension in our expressions is not merely a reaction to external stimuli. It is the manifestation of our inner turbulence. Buddhist teachings emphasize that by observing and releasing tension in the face, we can also begin to release mental tension. A useful practice is to pause throughout the day and check in with your facial expressions. Are your eyebrows tensed? Is your mouth set in a rigid line? Are your lips pursed in frustration? Simply bringing awareness to these expressions and consciously relaxing them can shift your emotional state. Softening the face leads to softening the mind, the eyes, and the expression of the soul. The eyes are an integral part of facial expressions, often revealing emotions more truthfully than words. In Buddhist thought, the gaze is linked to inner awareness. A wandering, restless gaze suggests distraction, while a steady, gentle gaze reflects a mind rooted in the present moment. When we listen to someone, are we truly seeing them? Or are our eyes darting elsewhere, preoccupied with distractions? Compassionate eye contact, combined with a relaxed facial expression, can create a profound sense of connection. It is said that the Buddha's gaze held an indescribable depth, one that could see through illusions and directly into the heart of a being. Facial expressions and karma. What do we cultivate? In Buddhist psychology, karma is not just about actions. It extends to our thoughts, emotions, and even our habitual expressions. A person who frequently scowls, frowns, or grimaces cultivates an internal atmosphere of negativity, reinforcing states of irritation and impatience. Over time, these expressions become ingrained patterns, shaping both the face and the mind. On the other hand, one who practices mindful facial expressions, gentle smiles, relaxed features, an open countenance, nurtures positive mental states. The great Zen master Shunryu Suzuki once said, "Our face is always changing according to our inner state. If you want a peaceful world, begin with a peaceful face." The art of mirroring, a practice in empathy. Mirroring the facial expressions of others is a natural human tendency, often done unconsciously. However, when done with mindful intent, it becomes a powerful tool for empathy and connection. In deep conversations, subtly matching another person's expressions can create a sense of synchronization and trust. This practice aligns with the Buddhist principle of interconnectedness, reminding us that we are not separate beings, but deeply woven into each other's experiences. However, true mirroring is not about imitation. It is about attunement. If a friend expresses sadness, responding with a genuine expression of concern rather than forced cheerfulness acknowledges their emotions authentically. This kind of presence and sensitivity strengthens relationships and deepens compassion. Facial expressions in meditation and spiritual practice. Buddhist meditation is not just about stillness of mind. It also involves stillness of the body and face. Advanced practitioners often maintain an expression of profound serenity, reflecting their inner equilibrium. One practice that cultivates this is mirror meditation, sitting in front of a mirror and observing your own face without judgment. Notice how your expression shifts with each thought. By softening the gaze, relaxing the facial muscles, and smiling gently, you can train the mind to adopt a state of ease and openness. Similarly, in metta meditation, practitioners silently repeat phrases like, "May all beings be happy. May all beings be free from suffering," while maintaining a relaxed, compassionate expression. Over time, this practice transforms not only the mind, but also the subtle energy conveyed through facial expressions. Applying mindful facial expressions in daily life. Incorporating mindfulness of facial expressions into everyday life can create profound shifts in how we interact with the world. Here are some practical applications. 1. Before speaking, relax your face. Observe any tension and release it. This ensures that your communication comes from a place of presence rather than reactivity. 2. Offer a small, mindful smile during interactions. Not a forced grin, but a natural expression of warmth. 3. When listening, maintain an open and receptive expression. Avoid expressions of impatience or distraction. 4. Use mirror meditation to cultivate greater self-awareness of habitual expressions. 5. Recognize that your face reflects your inner state. If you wish to change how you interact with the world, begin by transforming what your face expresses. Chapter 3. Gestures and Body Language, the Silent Art of Communication. Gestures and posture play pivotal roles in conveying messages beyond words. Open palms often signify honesty and openness, while crossed arms might indicate defensiveness or resistance. I once attended a workshop where the speaker's expansive gestures and open posture captivated the audience, underscoring the effectiveness of positive body language in engaging others. However, in a deeper sense, according to Buddhist philosophy, gestures and body language are not merely subconscious reactions but reflections of one's inner state. A person with a peaceful and compassionate mind will have gentle, calm gestures, while someone full of worries and anger will often display tense body movements, rushed and uncontrolled actions. Gestures and their meaning in Buddhism. In the art of communication, posture and gestures are not just tools of expression, but also help us become aware of and regulate our inner state. A mindful practitioner observes their movements, from the way they walk to how they place their hands or bow their head, because they understand that outer actions reflect inner emotions. In Buddhist statues, we often see mudras, hand gestures that carry profound spiritual meanings. A Abhya mudra, gesture of fearlessness, the hand is raised with the palm facing outward, symbolizing protection and the dispelling of fear. A Dhyana mudra, meditation gesture, both hands rest in the lap with the fingers touching, representing serenity and enlightenment. A Vitarka mudra, teaching gesture, the thumb and index finger form a circle, symbolizing wisdom and the transmission of truth. These gestures are not only symbolic, but also help practitioners regulate their thoughts and emotions, guiding them toward inner peace and compassion. How posture affects mood and state of mind. According to Zen master Thich Nhat Hanh, the way we walk reflects the way we live. If the mind is restless, our steps will be hurried and anxious. In contrast, if we walk mindfully, with steady and gentle steps, our mind naturally becomes more peaceful. In monasteries, practitioners pay close attention to posture in walking, standing, sitting, and lying down to cultivate mindfulness. This not only shows respect for others, but also serves as a form of self-care and self-discipline. Some mindful posture principles include: 1. Keep a straight but relaxed posture, whether sitting or standing. Maintain an upright spine without tension. This helps circulate energy and maintain alertness. 2. Move slowly and consciously. Try lifting a cup of tea with full awareness. You will notice a significant difference compared to hurried, unconscious actions. 3. Walk with mindfulness. Practice walking slowly, feeling each step as if every step brings you back to the present moment, similar to walking meditation. Using body language in everyday communication. In daily interactions, we can use body language mindfully to create deeper connections with others. An open hands facing others. This gesture expresses receptivity, openness, and sincerity, making others feel comfortable. A slight nod when speaking. This conveys humility and respect. In Buddhism, this gesture is particularly important, especially when interacting with elders or teachers. Avoid crossing arms or closing off the body. This can unintentionally create a sense of defensiveness or detachment. A Zen story tells of a master who always sat with a steady posture, a calm gaze, and hands resting gently on his lap. When he taught, his gestures were harmonious, with no unnecessary movements, making it easier for listeners to absorb the wisdom. This illustrates the power of body language governed by a serene and mindful mind. Practicing mindfulness through daily gestures. A mindful person does not only pay attention to words, but also observes every small action. Try the following practices to develop greater awareness of your body language. 1. When standing, avoid leaning or crossing your arms. Stand in a natural, relaxed manner. 2. When sitting, avoid slouching or reclining too much. Maintain a balanced, upright posture. 3. When listening, keep a calm gaze, avoiding distractions or looking away while someone is speaking. 4. When moving, practice mindful walking, ensuring each step is steady and intentional. 5. When eating or drinking, lift chopsticks or a cup of tea with full awareness, avoiding hurried or careless movements. By practicing mindful gestures, we not only improve our communication with others, but also strengthen our connection with ourselves. Applying mindful body language in everyday life. A person's presence is not only defined by their words, but also by their posture, demeanor, and gestures. Someone who walks slowly, moves gracefully, and maintains a peaceful gaze will always bring a sense of ease and comfort to those around them. On a broader scale, if everyone practiced mindful body language, the world would become more harmonious and less stressful. A humble bow, a genuine smile, and an open hand extended in kindness. All of these can convey compassion without the need for words. Part 4. The importance of mindfulness. To truly grasp the nuances of nonverbal communication, it's essential to cultivate mindfulness. By being fully present, we can observe subtle cues that might otherwise go unnoticed. Practices such as meditation can enhance our ability to stay in the moment, improving our sensitivity to the unspoken signals in our interactions. Mindfulness, in its essence, means paying full attention to the present moment without judgment. In the context of communication, this translates to being aware of the energy and emotions that surround us, as well as understanding how our body, gestures, and expressions communicate. Mindfulness as a bridge to nonverbal cues. Fat Zhao teaches us that the present moment is the only reality. The past is gone, and the future has not yet arrived. Mindfulness allows us to anchor ourselves in this present, where nonverbal communication thrives. Just as we can look within and observe our thoughts, we can also look outward and observe the silent signals that others project. In both cases, it is not about interpreting from the perspective of preconceptions, but rather about being fully aware of the feelings and intentions conveyed through subtle cues. In relationships, whether personal or professional, being mindful of body language, facial expressions, tone of voice, and gestures can deepen the understanding between individuals. For example, in Buddhist teachings, there is an emphasis on being sensitive to the emotional states of others, as we strive to meet them with compassion and understanding. This mindfulness can allow us to detect when someone is feeling discomfort, joy, or tension without them having to speak a word. Cultivating mindful awareness through meditation. One of the most powerful ways to cultivate mindfulness is through meditation, a core practice in Buddhism. When we meditate, we develop the ability to observe our thoughts and emotions without becoming entangled in them. In the same way, when we approach nonverbal communication with a meditative mindset, We can see past the surface actions of others and connect with the deeper currents of their emotions and intentions. The practice of vipassana meditation is particularly beneficial in this regard. It trains the mind to be observant of every sensation in the body, from the feeling of the breath moving through the nostrils to the tension in the shoulders or the rise and fall of the chest. When we bring this level of attention to every action and interaction in our daily lives, we become more aware of how others are feeling, even if they are not verbalizing it. By simply observing the small shifts in a person's facial expression, the subtle changes in posture, or the slight tension in their gestures, we can develop a more profound connection, mindfulness and empathy. Mindfulness, when practiced consistently, also nurtures empathy, the ability to deeply understand and feel what another person is experiencing. Buddhist teachings often emphasize the importance of compassion, a quality that arises naturally when we are attuned to the emotions and states of others. By being mindful, we can transcend superficial judgments and see people for who they truly are. For example, when someone speaks with a tense voice or avoids eye contact, we may feel the urge to ask if something is wrong, but if we truly listen, observe, and practice mindfulness, we can sense the underlying emotions even before they are fully expressed. This heightened sensitivity allows us to respond with greater care and consideration, leading to more authentic and empathetic interactions. Mindfulness in everyday life, noticing the subtle. Mindfulness doesn't require us to be in formal meditation all the time. In fact, the true essence of mindfulness lies in its application to everyday life. By simply paying attention to the present moment, we can notice the subtle details that might otherwise slip by unnoticed. For instance, when you're engaged in a conversation, notice how your body language shifts in response to the other person's energy. Are you leaning in when they speak? Is your posture open and relaxed? Or are you crossing your arms in defense? These are signals that indicate your internal state, and they also affect how the other person feels around you. Similarly, consider how others react to your presence. When you enter a room, are you mindful of the energy you bring? Do your body and facial expressions communicate openness, or are they closed off? The more mindful you become of your own gestures and words, the more you will be able to influence the atmosphere around you in a positive way. The role of mindfulness in resolving conflicts. Mindfulness also plays a critical role in resolving conflicts. During tense situations, people often resort to defensive body language, such as crossing their arms or turning away. When we practice mindfulness, we can remain centered and non-reactive, giving us the space to respond thoughtfully rather than reacting impulsively. For example, in a heated conversation, by maintaining eye contact, a neutral posture, and a calm breath, we signal to the other person that we are present, open, and non-judgmental. This subtle but powerful act of nonverbal communication often diffuses tension and allows the other person to feel heard and understood, which can lead to a more productive dialogue. Similarly, when someone is expressing frustration, being mindful of their nonverbal cues, such as clenched fists, tight jaws, or narrowed eyes, can give us insight into their emotional state. Instead of reacting to the words they say, mindfulness helps us to focus on understanding their feelings and responding with compassion. Connecting mindfulness to Buddhist principles. In Buddhism, the practice of mindfulness, known as sati, is often paired with insight, vipassana, to create a deeper awareness of the interconnectedness of all beings. Through mindfulness, we not only observe ourselves but also our connection to others. The Buddhist teachings on interdependence remind us that all actions, even those that seem small and insignificant, can have far-reaching effects. By being mindful of our body language and nonverbal communication, we become more conscious of how our actions influence the people around us. Just as we would not want to harm others with our words, we should also be mindful not to harm them with our gestures, posture, or facial expressions. By practicing mindful communication, we move toward creating more harmonious relationships and fostering peace in our environment. Conclusion. In the same way, Buddhist philosophy emphasizes the importance of cultivating awareness and presence in all interactions. When we are truly present, we not only notice the external expressions of others, but also become more attuned to their inner emotional states. Mindfulness, a core tenet of Buddhism, enhances this ability by encouraging us to observe without judgment and with compassion. In this way, body language becomes a doorway to deeper understanding, helping us transcend surface-level communication and move toward genuine connection. By being mindful of how we present ourselves through our gestures, posture, and facial expressions, we can ensure that we convey our true intentions with clarity and empathy. Similarly, observing others with a compassionate mindset allows us to perceive not just what they say, but how they truly feel. Over time, this practice leads to more harmonious and fulfilling relationships, both in our personal lives and in professional settings. In essence, cultivating awareness of body language and gestures, alongside mindfulness, transforms communication into a more profound and meaningful experience, where understanding flows effortlessly beyond words.